Hello, and welcome back to 7th Crown Tarot. If this is your first time here, thank you for being here, and if you are returning, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading, and I asked, what is it that people say about you behind your back in terms of like compliments? So pick a pile, and whenever you're ready, you can jump to the timestamp down below and we'll get started. Okay, pile number 1. You chose this beautiful, kind of bluish, purplish nail polish. Immediately I get like the sense of almost like a regal quality to you. So people might think that you give off like this kind of like regal aura to you. A lot of people might project onto you that you're like this canon, like you're, if you don't know what a canon is, it's like something to be aspired to. Because I do get this miracle gel here. So it's like someone that can solve all their problems, and this is just what compliments people are giving you, right? So it's not necessarily true, but people perceive you as this almost well-known brand, because we also get Sally Hansen here. It's like people know about you, so your name actually precedes you. You have a lot of people talking about you in a good way. Step 1, yeah. It's like that's the first thing they know. It's what people have told them. Also, I get that you're not a complicated person. Like, you're not the type of person to go and talk about people behind their back. Like, you're more likely to, like, if you're having a disagreement, like, you're gonna go and speak to that person face to face. Or, you're not the kind of person that will say rude things about people that you wouldn't say to their face, basically. And this one is called Hypnotical. Okay, so you've got a hypnotizing quality to you that's almost siren-like. You draw people in. And I get there's also something very luxurious looking about your body, or the way that you stand, and it looks very confident. It's very like tall, and yeah, there's just like this confidence to you. Okay, so let's get started on your pile. Yours was actually the only one that got 2 cards. We got the Hierophant. Perfect, that's in frame. Okay, so we got the Hierophant, the Emperor. You're willing to stand up to people that may have tried to hurt others. Like, you're a very fair person. When you see injustice, like you're there to stand up for these people that maybe might not have as much confidence as you. So this is something, maybe this is part of I don't know why I got the word drama. Like, this is part of the reputation that precedes you. That you're willing to stand up to people that might try to do the wrong thing, especially if they're in a place of power, because we have the Emperor here. And the Hierophant, it's like you have equal amounts of power, but you're working from a place of like justice for the people. So you could be very, you could be a Libra. You could be very concerned about making sure that everyone is getting what they deserve in some way. So it kind of makes you very intimidating too. Okay, so 8 of Pentacles in reverse. It's almost like you really don't have to work very hard for your reputation to be good. People just kind of see you that way now because of like your past efforts in making your reputation good. Like, you no longer have to try very hard. Ooh, you make people really shift their perspective on life and on their own lives. This tells me that maybe you're showing also people that they don't have to work so hard at like just existing. Like, they can just be themselves. And so I'm getting a lot of people admiring you because of how you make them feel. You make them feel safe. You make them feel like they can be confident and like they can maybe stand up to people that are not being fair. And so you kind of have this trickle down effect of uh, allowing people to be leaders in their own life. You're also getting a compliment of seeming very lucky. You seem like a very lucky person to people. And of course, I think that we are the only ones that create our own luck. And we create our own luck through action. And we don't stay... I got this pause here. It's like you're showing people how to untrap themselves from maybe past thoughts of, I'm not lucky like they are. And you're helping people to see that from a past, maybe you have some sort of past story here that you're sharing with people. Or maybe they've seen some sort of experience that you went through successfully and got out of. And so now they're kind of looking back at your experience here and being like, well, if they got out of it, then so can I. You give people strength. You give people a lot of strength. Your compliments are all how you make people feel, really. It seems like you exist to try to relieve the pain of others. 10 of Swords. Nobody can defeat you. I feel like nobody can defeat you. No matter what people throw your way. Yeah. Nobody can defeat you. You're always happy. You're always looking for the next happy experience. You're looking at the silver lining of things. You're a person who looks at the silver lining and finds that silver lining for other people, for yourself. And it's interesting that we have gold here. So it's like, it's not just a silver lining. You see the gold lining. Just like next level up, right? Like you turn these miseries into gold. You're an alchemist. It's the compliment that people are giving you behind your back. They really admire your ability to take energy that was once destructive and turn it, like allow it to destruct whatever's destructing and allow it to turn that situation into something beautiful. Like put something in its place that once wasn't there. So you're showing people how to do this. This is a compliment that you're getting behind your back. You're showing people to dream big too. To climb the highest mountains. And to sow seeds. To not be afraid of pursuing their dreams. You could be somebody that really has like really high aspirations. You're very yeah, I definitely get that with this. That you are, I want to say, an overachiever. You're someone who really strives for really crazy things and you actually go after them. Like you're not the kind of person that's just going to like say something and then kind of chicken out or not do it. You're willing to walk away from things that don't serve you. This is what compliment someone is giving you behind your back. Or it could be multiple people. And maybe these were the people that you walked away from. The people that are no longer in your life that knew that they did something to, you know, like deserve that. Maybe you have a lot of like karmic people that you've left behind. And now they're kind of looking at you going forward and creating this abundance in your life, and they're complimenting you. They're still talking about you. Interesting. Anything else? You have this incredible ability to transform. Again, with that alchemist energy. I'm getting the number 5. High Priestess. You have a really strong intuition. People see that you have... Wow. Death. Yes. You have a really strong intuition and you trust it. You trust yourself and you show other people that trusting your intuition, maybe it's not so bad. You know, maybe there's some merit to that. Maybe this is part of your, part of how you're supposed to live life, right? You show people a different way of living life. This is the compliment that you're giving, or people are giving you behind your back. I think overall, you seem like a really cool person. You seem like you've been through a lot and you're just really full of excitement. People are really excited about your journey and they're thrilled to see what's coming next because they see this abundance. They see that you've got a lot of leadership qualities, that you're going to do great things. So keep going. That is your reading today, pile number 1. If you liked this, go ahead and leave a comment if you'd like to do that. If not, if this is where I leave you, it was nice chatting with you today. And I'm going to go on to pile number 2. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. Okay, so you chose this bottle of, I don't know what this would be, not necessarily fuchsia, almost like a magenta color. Very feminine. It's almost like some sort of like pink. And I didn't open the last one. Maybe as soon as people meet you, you really cause them to open up to you. Insta dry. You could have really big walls up, and people are complimenting this because you're not the kind of person to jump head first into things. So you're a really logical thinker, and you're not allowing people in without passing some sort of test. Cherry Fest. That reminds me of that one song, Cherry Pie. Oh, there was this one 80s band that they had this one song that went like crazy. It topped the charts, but they were like a one-hit wonder. And the song goes, "She's my cherry pie." Oh gosh, I don't remember the words, but point is, some people, the compliment that they're giving you is like, wow, I really wish that they had stayed in my life for a longer period of time. Like, they're so interesting. They're so full of life, and they're just like enamored by you. There's also something really different about you. Look at the shape of this bottle. I also get like a vintage sense to you. There's a vintage sense to you. This is almost giving me like 80s, and this was like 80s, right? The 80s song. So you could dress in a lot of vintage fashion, or maybe you have a lot of like kind of old school mentality about like you know, like values and stuff. So you could have like a lot of like old school values about family, about work ethic. Okay. So 5 of Cups. Again, I get like this sense of loss. A compliment that you get is that you're willing to move on from things, to move on from people. Oh, and you see red flags immediately. And when I'm saying red flags, I don't mean like how TikTok considers everything a red flag nowadays. I mean like maybe it's based on prior experience. Like you've been there before, so now you can spot it. So people are complimenting how wise you are when it comes to making choices and knowing who to keep in your life that will fulfill you and who to let go that are taking away from you. And I've never noticed this before, but there's like a tiny hay bale here. Is that a hay bale? I'm not even sure what that is. Maybe it's a rock. You have an attention to detail. You have an incredible attention to detail. And this is kind of intimidating to people. But they're complimenting it. They definitely think that, oh, or maybe they're just, like we were talking about intimidation, like maybe they're afraid that you're noticing every wrong thing about them. Maybe some people are worried about you being critical, but there's something to this critical nature that protects you from people that don't mean you well. And this could be a compliment coming from the people that want the best for you. So they're complimenting on your ability to not take the wrong cups, to not take certain offers, to say no. Interesting, we did get this card for the first pile. So if you did feel drawn to the first pile, definitely go see that. So you know what investments will work out. You have this sixth sense about you where you can see what to invest in and what won't work. And I'm thinking about Shark Tank right now, how they kind of have to invest in something and put in a certain amount of money. And, you know, they choose where that money goes. And sometimes they choose right and sometimes they choose wrong. So I think a compliment that you're getting is that, like, there's like this humanity to you. Like, you're human. You make mistakes. And for some reason, people are complimenting this. They're like, oh, I can relate to that, you know? Like, I was in that situation once too, and maybe they're defending you. Maybe there's people out there defending you from other people who are kind of not speaking highly of you. I'm getting that one person in specific is doing this. So maybe it's like your best friend, somebody that you're very close to. They speak very highly of you. This person specifically speaks very highly of you. I get that you surround yourself with like-minded people. You're very selective with the people that, like we got in the beginning, you're very selective with the people that you keep in your life. So now, after however long you've been doing this, you have like a posse. You have a small amount of people that you keep beside you. And I never used the word posse, but it popped into my head for some reason. Oh wow, yeah, this one was in the other pile too. This one was in pile 1 as well, these two. So definitely go check them out. You're really giving. You give freely. You give your advice very freely to the people around you, even if you don't necessarily intend to keep them in your life. It's like the compliment that you give is that you're not the kind of person who hoards information from other people. or compliments. Like, even if you've met someone for the first time, um, you see nothing wrong with complimenting somebody about something that you genuinely mean. And other people might misperceive this, but I mean, it takes a lot of bravery, and a lot of people might think that you're a very brave person for doing this. So that's a compliment that you're getting, that you're a very brave person. And I definitely got that with this Ace of Swords. You're a very brave person, and you take on you take on new ways of thinking very happily. Maybe people get kind of like I don't know why, but they get like a, oh, what's the word? Whiplash. You give people whiplash. I'm sorry to say, but you do. And some people can't handle that, but they understand that that's also your nature. And that it's like a compliment that they're giving you. They're like, kind of like, wow, I wish I could change my life so quickly, as pile number 2. Because you're not the type of person to be stuck in situations that you don't want to be in. You're really quick to change those. And I think a compliment that you're also getting is that you make people realize how they've been keeping themselves back emotionally. You make people realize a lot of things about themselves. About the fact that they can be a little bit more daring in their life. And the fact that they can change their mind about things. And maybe that there isn't really anything to lose. It's just a matter of taking every day one step at a time and making the right decision one decision at a time. Again, there's this emphasis on you being a very generous person. But I'm also getting that you're very generous with the things that you physically give. So you could be the kind of person that likes to cook for people, or someone who, when they have some sort of resource that they could share, instead of hoarding all of it and using all of it, you really like to share. Anything else for pile number 2? What else do people compliment pile number 2 on? You bring a lot of light into people's lives. You're a very light individual. You give people hope that there might still be this... They might still be able to achieve their wildest dreams, basically, at the end of this like dark tunnel that they're going through. People kind of watch your life, I'm getting, if they can. And I'm getting also that some people can't do this anymore. And so they feel kind of left in the dark. When you're somebody's friend, you're somebody's best friend. But then when you're not friends anymore, it's like enemies to lovers, lovers to enemies kind of thing. I don't know why I got that. But I definitely feel like you're either friends with someone or you're not. And I think that's a really good compliment, because there are a lot of people who will play around with people's emotions. They won't entirely like somebody, but they won't want to hurt their feelings. So instead of, being honest or just taking one solid stance, they'll play the middle ground. And you don't do that. The compliment is that it's painfully obvious which side of the fence they're on. And so that makes things a lot more simple. And you love really hard. So that's what I got for you, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed your reading today. And if this is where I leave you, I am so happy that you are here. So grateful. Please leave a like, share, or subscribe if you feel called to it. And if this is where we leave off, Thank you so much. Okay, bye. Okay, pile number 3. This is your nail polish that you chose. This was actually my favorite nail polish for a really long time. So maybe a compliment that you're getting is that you're everybody's favorite. Like, you really stand out in a crowd. Maybe when you come onto like a job, maybe you work in like a team environment, and when you work with people, they really connect with you. And they say, oh, isn't pile number 3 awesome? They go, yeah, I really like working with pile number 3. They're so sweet and lovely, and they're just so exciting to work with, and they make work actually fun. So they don't hate working when they're working with you. Also, I get that you're really cool. I get that you're really cool. You're one of those people that, like, you really like to express yourself through your clothing, and you have really good style. You could be really into like sci-fi, I'm guessing, from this. The pinkish, it almost gives me like sci-fi. It could also be like, I don't know, this is giving me like alien core almost. I don't know if that's a thing, but like alien, fairy. Oh, you know what this is? This is like oh, what's that term? Oh, there's a term for it. Um anyway, so it's like when you're like very like fairy like. You're very fairy like. Um Grimes kind of reminds me of this kind of person, this vibe. Like very dainty but also edgy in a way. And also the 6 reminds you of like how people are like, "Oh, 666 number of Satan." You know? Um this one is called Oyster. So there's some sort of quality about you where it's like how oysters take a really long time to create a pearl, and it's also very rare. In nature, I mean. So you've got this like really rare nature about you. And this also gives me like unicorn vibes too. So it's like you have that unicorn vibe to you. Well, where people are like, wow, we really lucked out in running into paw number 3. Like, they're such a unique person and they're their own person. They don't care what anybody thinks. You could also be very defiant towards like authority. I'm getting that very heavily with this pile. Okay, what else can we get here? So Page of Wands. I definitely get that you're very creative, and some people underestimate this about you, like how creative you are. Um they think that it's just creativity for the sake of creativity. But there's some sort of like really functional, well thought out, uh, like deep layer to this where you're not like you're really thinking deeply about how you express yourself, um, and how you express yourself. Um, what do I mean by this? Like it all serves to create some sort of brand. You could have a really strong brand image. And this could be something that you're aware of, or maybe you're not aware of, but people see this about you and they really compliment it. They they see something and it reminds them of you. And that's what a good brand does. A good brand is able to go beyond themselves and really trigger, like almost like marketing for themselves on behalf of like some sort of item that you might see. Um, Like how we see the colors of Pepsi, right? Like red and blue. Sometimes you can be like, oh, Pepsi, red, blue, and white, right? What else do people compliment pile number 3 on? They can't quite put you in a box. They can't put their finger on what type of person you are, and so you're this mystery. You're an enigma. You're this like shifting blob of a person that is just always changing, but it seems like it's always for the better. Like you're constantly refining yourself and becoming more of who it is that you are. You're constantly making steps, but you're doing them in silence. You're taking these steps in silence. And people want to know how you do this. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show that. I mean, there's nothing really there. Okay. Well, there's this vulnerability to you too. That people almost feel like, should I be watching this? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you expose people's lack of vulnerability too. Because you feel really safe. There's something about like you healing yourself to the point where you feel so safe being vulnerable. Or maybe this is just how people compliment you. This might not necessarily be true, but you're facing your fears. You're facing your fears and being vulnerable. And people are complimenting this. They're like, wow, I wish I was as brave as number 3, like pile number 3, really going after what they like, what they love, and being who it is that they are. Like even if they receive backlash, which I don't think that you do very often, and the people that would try to do that are pretty silly, right? Because it's very obvious here that people love you. People really want to invest in you too. People compliment about you about the fact that you're this really unique mix of being very creative while at the same time being very dependable. You're like this mythical artist that can wear all these hats all at once. It's like you can be trusted, and you know you're the type of person that will create a project and follow through with it. But I get more that it's like a lifestyle thing. Like you create your entire life as a project as opposed to just material things. And that's why you're so impressive. So the compliment is that you're impressing people. You're impressing people because you're constantly building all of these things behind you here while staying vulnerable and avoiding any kind of negative situations that people might be trying to come at you with. You always come out victorious because you're willing to battle. So this is a compliment people are giving you, that you're willing to fight when need be, but you'll do so in a way that is dignified. Like you won't stoop down to whoever this person or people that come up against you. You won't stoop down to that level. Like you'll do it from a place of strength, from a place of this isn't who I am. So there's some sort of like really beautiful, charming energy that you have around you. There's some sort of like mythical aspect. I almost feel this one almost this reading reminds me of like number 1 in a way. It is different, but it does feel a little bit related. You've gone, okay, so you have this cool backstory. People are complimenting your backstory. They talk about this before you've even entered the room. And this is something that we talked about in pile number 1, but I guess we're expanding upon it here. So you've got this backstory of like, here were all these things that you wanted to create. You knew you were destined for greatness, you know? Like you had all this wonder and sparkle in your eyes. But then, as the years went by, like you quietly were working on this, and now it's gotten to this point where you actually have created all of these things. You've lived up to your potential, or they can see you going towards your potential, and they're really inspired by this. So you're inspiring a lot of people, pile number 3, to believe in themselves. Anything else for pile number 3? There's like a bird-like quality about you. All 3 piles have gotten this card, but yours is the only one where it came out upright. You're willing to work hard when it needs to be done. You're not above it. So yes, you are this gentle, mythical person, but below all of that is really hard work that you actually put in behind closed doors. There's a lot of structure to you. You could have some earth placements, some very heavy earth placements. I definitely get that. And I also get Leo with strength. So there's this showy quality about you as well. You're not afraid to put on a show and to be put on display. But also, you don't see it as, you see it as part of everything that you've done. It's just a part of it. And the most important part of it, like, you don't place importance on that. You place the most importance on the structure around it. The ability to plan, to execute these plans, to be victorious, and to learn about whatever it is that you need to learn about. People are complimenting you on your ability to seem like a very whole individual. They're also complimenting you on when they see you going through tough times, you don't dwell. You're free of these limitations that they think that everybody else has except for you. I mean, this is just a compliment. It's not necessarily exactly true, you know, but from the outsider's perspective, they see you as somebody who doesn't really fall victim to this. Yes, get the fool. You can't be held back. Again, with the bird-like quality. It's like people could try to put you into a cage and keep you there, but all that does is make you want to fly more. All that does is set you free more, because it gives you another creative limitation. There's this weird thing that happens when we're given creative limitations. I'm not sure if you're an artist, but it's almost like you become more creative and it inspires something, because it's like a cue. So I think you help people see their way out because they see you seeing a way out. It's almost like they see the light through your eyes. And so things don't seem so dark anymore. They see that you've made a lot with a little, and you've gone through a lot. and that everything is just a matter of time. Okay, so that's what I got for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and if this is where I leave you, have a good morning, good evening, good night. Whenever I see you next, I hope I will. But if you feel inspired to it also, feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, like the video. It definitely helps me reach more people. And I hope I see you again. Bye! Hello, pile number 4. So you chose this green. I think this is a green. I'm not sure how you would define this, like an emerald color. Very nice. I love this nail polish. I haven't worn it in a while. Maybe I'll put it on. So there's an elegance to you, because this is the only nail polish that has like a gold band on it. People are complimenting how you present yourself. You could be the kind of person that likes to wear makeup, do their hair. If you're a guy, maybe you like to put on some cologne and, you know, look really nice. Put on some like nice shoes, a nice outfit. There's also something very inviting about this energy here, because we do have green, and green is the heart chakra. So you could be a very empathic person, and people are really complimenting that they feel this right away. They feel like they can trust you right away. Super lustrous. They also think that you look very healthy, so I don't know if you work out and like eat very well. You could also be vegetarian or vegan, because we do have the green here. I don't know why I'm getting that with this, but we have posh. And isn't posh like a British thing? Like when people say that they're posh. I know there's like Posh Spice, right? From the Spice Girls. So you could be really into like the 90s, or maybe you were born in the 90s. Or, if not that, maybe you give off this air of like coming from like a really cultured family, or being exposed to a lot of culture. But people definitely think that you come from like a high society for some reason. People also think that you're going to be very successful, or that you are successful, because you give that vibe. The kind of person that, you know, invests in really expensive things. The luxuries of life. I'm not sure if that was centered. I'm still kind of working on my setup here, so apologies if something isn't centered. 3 of Wands. You're a really decisive person. People compliment you on your ability to take action and decide on things that you want to go towards. Maybe it's going on a vacation that you really want to go on. Maybe it's you're very resourceful. Maybe it's even just adventuring in the town that you, or the city, wherever that you live in. People also see you as a nature person, because we do have this green, and this guy almost looks like he's standing atop a mountain looking onto the shore, and there's no city anywhere. People compliment you on your ability to get up and go. I definitely get more of like a traveler vibe with this one here. Like you've got everything that a person could need, but it's not a lot. So I think a compliment that you're getting is that people realize just how little they need to be happy when they see how happy you are with your life. Or maybe they're saying, you know, I could never just get rid of all of my things. So they could be seeing you as a very free person. Someone very creative too, because we have 3 wands here. Very creative, very passionate about life. Someone very expansive, who sees potential. Maybe it's potential in people. People feel like maybe for the first time someone sees their potential and it's you. Or maybe people see how passionate you are, and so they want to kind of explore how they could be that themselves. Let's see what else. Pile number 4. What compliments are you getting? Oh, is that a compliment? I've got a lot of pentacles here. Like the Chariot. People are complimenting your youthfulness, your ability to never lose your zest for life. And again, we're getting this like ability to make a decision, but also like a mixed energy. You have a little bit of like a chaotic energy to you, a little bit, while at the same time being calm. It's hard to explain. I think there was a little bit of impatience with this card here, but it's almost like because you're being complimented on the fact that like you don't stay in one place for too long. That you've experienced a lot of things in your life, and so you have a lot that you can give people as advice. Maybe someone who isn't as able to just pick up and go wouldn't be able to give this kind of advice, but you are, because you have that ability. And so people are complimenting this about you, that you're investing in new things all the time. And so maybe pile number 4 would know about this thing that I'm trying to invest in, because I remember, 10 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it would be, pile number 4, they explored that same thing. You're never tied down. I get that a lot with this reading. The shackles here. Not the shackles, but they're like around his wrists. People are complimenting your loyalty as well. I get that you have long-standing friendships, or it could be one specific person here. People are complimenting your ability to have long friendships, even though you're such like an adventurer type. Like you're like, yes, you'll go on your adventures, but you won't forget your friends. You won't forget the people that you love. Like you'll always come back to them. And you hold on to memories. You give people really good memories. Yeah, we get that a lot with this nostalgia. People have a lot of memories with you. Really, so many happy memories. I'm getting a really strong, like, childlike energy in this card, in this pile here. So you have a very strong, like, inner child that's, like, very calm, and it's very healing. People compliment you on your ability to calm them down. When they're around you, like, I feel very calm right now. It's like this is a gift that you freely give to people, to anyone that you meet. And you allow people to heal like an inner wounding that they might have from childhood, even. I had a craving to turn this one over for some reason. Queen of Wands. How is that a compliment? You help people to feel safe, to be themselves, to express their desires, their emotions, their desires specifically connected to something that a little kid would want, like to draw a picture of something, or something really innocent. There's something about you where you foster this type of, like, self-sufficiency, I guess you could call it, from the people that you meet. Like, they feel like they can express really deep parts of themselves with this Ten of Swords that might be painful when they're expressing it with other people because they don't feel safe. But with you, you're like, no, go ahead. Go ahead and speak to me about this thing, and everything will be okay. And you kind of soften that blow with people. So people compliment you on the fact that you almost have, like, this therapist vibe to you. And that you won't judge them. You're not a judgmental person. You're not the kind of person to look back at people's past mistakes and completely judge them for it. And you're very careful with what you say, too. I get that you might be a person of few words. You sit in silence with yourself. You're a lone wolf, for the most part. You have select people that you like to talk to and enjoy the company of. But for the most part, you're on your own, just enjoying life and enjoying the things that you like. People compliment this mysterious nature of yours. I also feel like you have this ability to suss out really toxic people and cut them off very quickly. To just not take that offer. To snuff out the flame by putting a blanket over it. Rather than, like, doing anything drastic. Because you know that only adds fuel to the fire. So you're getting the compliment of, like, not being overly reactive. Being able to see, like, a big picture of things. Okay, well, that's what I got for you. Pile number 4. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked your reading, feel free to hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. If not, that's okay too. It does help me reach more people with the algorithm, though. Anyway, this is where I leave you. Have a good morning, good evening, good night, whenever I see you next. Bye!